Ladies and gentlemen, could you please rise for the entrance of the University of Saskatchewan 2017 Spring Convocation graduates.
Could I ask the graduands to turn and face the platform? Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Spring Convocation 2017. And please join in the singing of O Canada, and please join in the singing of O Canada. Angela Urachanine. Please be seated. So I would like to welcome all this afternoon's graduates, family and friends, distinguished guests. My name is Beth Bilson. I'm the University Secretary, and I now have the honor of introducing you to the members of the platform party who you see in front of you. So beginning with the front row on my left, on your right, Russell Eisinger, University Registrar, Patty McDougall, Vice Provost Teaching and Learning, Grit McCreath, University of Saskatchewan Alumni Association, Karen Chad, Vice President Research, President Peter Stoichev, Chancellor Roy Romano, Earl Cook, who will be receiving an honorary degree this afternoon, Michelle Prytula, Dean, College of Education, she's here, Don Wallin, Associate Dean, College of Education, David Burgess, Associate Dean, College of Education, Adam Baxter Jones, Dean, College of Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies. In the second row, three of our university orators, Ken Howland, Lynn Bertucci, Kim Fontaine. And from the University of Saskatchewan Board of Governors, Daphne Arneson. And from the Senate, Marcel de la Gorgendiere, Nadia Prokopchuk, and Linda Browning. Robert Henderson, Board Chair, Graduate Students Association. Judith Henderson, University of Saskatchewan Retirees Association. David Dion, President, University of Saskatchewan Students' Union. And behind them, and I'll ask them to stand, members of the faculty of the University of Saskatchewan. Thank you. And I hope you'll join me in expressing to all of these faculty, administrators, and members of our governing bodies our thanks for the work they have done in supporting, teaching, and encouraging our students. We acknowledge the traditional territory of Treaty 6 and the homeland of the Métis on which we have gathered for this event. We pay our respects to the First Nations and Métis ancestors of this place and reaffirm our relationship with one another. And in a moment, I'm going to ask you to stand. There will be an honor song, which is meant to honor the achievements of our graduates and of the award winners this afternoon. So please stand as you are able for the honor song, and please note that there's no applause after that performance. Please be seated.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Peter Stoichev. I'm proud to be the president of this great university and of the university from which all of the graduates here today are receiving their degrees. I want to thank the Buffalo Boys for playing that honors song. It's unique to this ceremony. It's played at the beginning of every convocation ceremony that we've got, and it's intended to honor the graduates, all the hard work that they've put into what they're about to receive by walking across the stage today, and to ask them to do good in their lives, partly as a result of the degree that they've got here, and of course, it's going to be put to good because it's going to be in the field of education. Eminent Chancellor, graduates and families, honored guests, I thank the many people who are here today. This is a packed house today. To be part of this moment in the University of Saskatchewan's history. In particular, I want to acknowledge the board member who is here today, Senate members who are here today, all of the faculty who are on the stage here, who are the leaders and mentors for so many of you who are about to cross the stage and are the heartbeat of this university. Thank you very much for your presence here today. We're here to celebrate a milestone in the lives of the graduates who soon will cross this stage. We're proud of them. They're proud, I assume, of what they've done. Life is richer when we collectively acknowledge success and hard work and rites of passage such as this one today. We're also here because this university has brought us together. A university is a wonderful thing, a great experiment in the ongoing conversation that we call democracy. For democracy to work, there has to be truth. And these days, distinguishing among all the information that comes our way, what's true and what's not true, is harder and harder to do, but more and more necessary to do. Good journalism, good education, good universities do that job. Now that we're in the post-truth era, universities and education are needed more than ever before. What you go on to do will be needed more than ever before. The University of Saskatchewan is needed more now than it ever has been. And what all of you crossing this stage today with a U of S degree, strengthened by knowing what truth can look like, go on to do in your lives will matter immensely to all of our collective futures. You're getting your degrees today. You've succeeded in that. Take the time to enjoy it. I hope you have been. I hope you will. Revel in it. Boast about it. Feel a little smug about it. But once you've done with that, take even more time to thank the spouses and partners, parents, grandparents, friends, brothers and sisters, children, aunts and uncles, communities, elementary school teachers, high school teachers, the professors you appreciated, or your classmates who helped you out, because you don't achieve something this big without some help along the way. Many graduates are sitting in seats like you are in auditoriums like this one right now across this country, getting university degrees. But let me say something on this occasion of Canada's 150th anniversary, the university's 110th anniversary, and in the wake of the TRC calls to action and report about a U of S degree. This is the home of the cobalt-60 radiation therapy technology that revolutionized cancer therapy treatment in 1951 and saved the lives of millions of cancer patients around the world for the next 20 years. The small Acme Machine and Electric Company just around the corner from here on Idlewild Drive built the machine. U of S medical researchers built the concept. 6,700 patients were treated for the next 20 years here until it was replaced with newer technology in 1971. Sylvia Fedorik, who later became Saskatchewan's Lieutenant Governor and then our Chancellor, was a graduate student member of the project that built the Cobalt-60. Some of the country's most formative political leaders got their degrees here. Prime Minister John Diefenbaker, Governor General Ray Natishin, Premiers Grant Devine and Brad Wall and Lauren Calvert, and of course, Roy Romano. All in all, 8 Canadian premiers have been students at the University of Saskatchewan, dozens of Canadian ambassadors to countries around the world, and it is fitting on the occasion of Canada's 150th that Roy Romano is now our Chancellor. He's been so warmly greeted that he's going to run for political office again. People who went on to win Nobel Prizes were here. One was chemistry graduate student Henry Tobey, who received it in 1983. Another Nobel laureate from the U of S was Gerhard Hertzberg, who was offered a position here by our first president, Walter Murray, in 1935. Hertzberg lived in Darmstadt, Germany. His wife Louise, a preeminent scientist in her own right, was Jewish, and they had to leave. There was no other university on this continent that had the vision and humanity to offer him a position. He won the Nobel Prize in Chemistry in 1971. Writers such as Sharon Butala, who wrote Perfection of the Morning, three-time Governor General Award winner Guy Vanderhaeg were here, Hilda Neatby, who wrote the controversial book on Canadian education with the memorable title So Little for the Mind, actors like Kim Coates from Sons of Anarchy, Aboriginal leaders like our recent Chancellor Blaine Fable, former chief of the FSIN, and Felix Thomas, chief of the Saskatoon Tribal Council, Lester Lafond, a formidable influence on the development of the Aboriginal business community in Saskatchewan, Annie Mackay, the first Indigenous woman to graduate from our university, Earl Cook, our honorary degree recipient today. Influential people in our justice system, such as law school graduate Tom Malloy, the federal government's chief negotiator in the Nunavut Land Agreement, were students here. Civil liberties advocate, Medicare author, and Supreme Court Justice Emmett Hall, a law school classmate of John Diefenbaker's, and Diefenbaker later became our chancellor. Justice Hall proposed compelling reasons for Aboriginal land title existing in British Columbia under common law, which later influenced Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau to begin land claims negotiations with First Nations. It hadn't happened before. Hall's 1964 Royal Commission on National Health Care Services report recommended Canada adopt Saskatchewan's public health insurance model. And in it, he wrote, "The only thing more expensive than good health care is no health care." Emmett Hall later became Chancellor of the U of S. Roy Romano, another law school alumnus, authored in 2002 the only other Royal Commission report on the future of healthcare in Canada, and he later became Chancellor, so I started to think that if you want to become Chancellor of the U of S, author a Royal Commission report on Canada's healthcare system. Athletes and coaches such as Sandra Schmerler and Diane Jones-Konahowski, Mike Babcock and Willie Desjardins and Dave King were at the U of S. In fact, very recently, 4 of the NHL's coaches were student athletes here with Huskies hockey. At last week's YWCA Women of Distinction Awards banquet, 26 of the 50 nominees were from the University of Saskatchewan. This university has served the city and the province in extraordinary fashion, but in this, Canada's 150th anniversary year, we can also be proud that the U of S has been a nation builder. The historian Desmond Morton has called Vimy Ridge, and this is the 100th anniversary of that battle, a nation-building experience. The whole First World War was for Canada. Of the 345 U of S students, faculty, and staff who enlisted in it, 69 sacrificed themselves in the line of duty. They are commemorated on the university's memorial gates on College Drive. More than 100 more were wounded, and 33 were awarded medals of valor. The university gave so many brave soldiers to the cause that the School of Engineering closed its doors for the 1916-1917 academic year when the faculty and students enlisted en masse. 110 years after we began, we are now seen as a research leader in the country with Canada's only synchrotron, where we figured out how to produce medical isotopes using a particle accelerator rather than a nuclear reactor. There is a huge national and international demand for these isotopes, due in part to the imminent closure of Chalk River in 2018. We've got a cyclotron that is now providing the medical isotopes for the Royal University Hospital, a fitting homage to that Cobalt-60 work that was done here over half a century ago. Our Global Institute for Food Security will help feed a hungry world. Our Global Institute for Water Security will help us to understand floods and droughts. These 2 institutes received the country's largest research grants ever earned by Canadian universities. The competition for these grants was fierce, and we were the only university to have received 2. These institutes are examples of how we bring together different parts of the university to work on global problems. With 17 colleges and graduate schools, we have more disciplines than any Canadian university of our size. And this is a crucial feature of who we are, because although we do not know what the solutions are to the major challenges facing us today, we do know this, that they're not going to be solved by a single researcher in a single discipline, but by many people from many disciplines working together. We're poised to do that with faculty like the ones on the stage before you, who are at the cutting edge of research, scholarly, and artistic work. All these things matter. All these things will help make Canada and the world a better place. It's for these reasons and more that we're one of the top research-intensive universities in the country. On his train trip out here to begin his work as the first president of this university, Walter Murray in 1908 wrote to a friend that we are building for centuries, and that's what we will continue to do, to be a leader in developing local solutions to global problems. I don't say this only to boast, but really to emphasize that the degree that you are all walking across the stage to receive today has tremendous value. Many employers tell me that when they see an application from a U of S grad, it gets special attention because the quality of the university is so high and because of its graduates' work ethic that's part of our prairie roots. And also because you haven't just learned a particular area of study, you've learned how to transfer what you've learned in one discipline into what's needed in another. To be able someday to solve problems we can't even foresee today, you've learned about excellence, and excellence is a transferable skill. And like anything that has great value, it carries with it a great responsibility. Education brings benefit, but it also brings responsibility. In the end, most people in the world can only dream of getting to where you are today. Educated, well-read, supported, self-reliant, networked, plugged in. This is not to say there aren't huge challenges, but you've worked hard and others have helped to get you to this point. So now what? A few thoughts on that. You didn't get here by following what everyone else did, agreeing with everything they said, doing everything they asked, and taking the road of least resistance. You weren't here doing all this just to absorb received wisdom. You've done all this work to find your own voice, not to mimic someone else's. Trust yourself now to sing your own melody with it. Also, you got here by taking risks, by failing at some things, maybe many things. For some, going to university at all was a risk. You didn't do all this work so that you'd live a failure-free life. You've done all this work so that your future failures will be for more important causes, and so that your successes will have more important impacts. And finally, you came here with at least some slight thought in the back of your mind that a university degree will lead to a great job and a lot of money. And it's true that the chances are a lot higher that you will have those things with a degree than without one. But I've always liked this sentence from a great book by Chris Hedges called The Empire of Illusion, that in the end, the measure of a civilization is its compassion, not its ability to consume. And the compassion is not just for others, it's also for yourself. Help out those with less than you've now got and take it easy on yourself while you're at it. It turns out the two go hand in hand. And if you do get a great job and make lots of money, show even more compassion, make even more of a difference. Think of all those who can't even imagine having the education that you've got. What would they do if they had it? What will you do now that you've got it? Education brings benefits, but it also brings responsibility. In its 150th year, Canada needs people with degrees in education to help build a more sustainable world, a more equitable world, a world with the courage to embrace diversity, not build a wall against it, a country that can tell the difference between truth and its many imposters, a country that responds to the Truth and Reconciliation Commission's 94 calls to action, because as Justice Murray Sinclair, now Senator, said when he was here almost 2 years ago, education is the key to reconciliation. Our new vision document here at the U of S commits us to being an outstanding institution of research, learning, knowledge-keeping, reconciliation, and inclusion with and by Indigenous peoples and communities. And I'm grateful that the U of S is seen in this country as a participant, not a bystander, in building reconciliation. And in this sesquicentennial year, we have more Aboriginal students at our university than we have had ever before in our history. We're at a time when the country faces the greatest cultural challenge of its history. Being a nation builder today means relearning, rewriting, rethinking, reimagining, things universities can help do best, but have not always. We must have the conviction to do so now. It will take generations, but we're building for centuries. So in the end, what's all this that you're achieving today about? Only you can actually answer that question for yourself. But part of it is about being a community builder in your own right. Universities are a radical experiment in human culture, a place where we learn to be humble servants of a democratic society and respectful critics of it. For the Roy Romanos and John Diefenbakers and Gerhard Hertzbergs, Hilda Neatbys, Blaine Favels, Emmett Halls, Annie Mackays, Sylvia Fedoricks, Earl Cooks of the world, it was about something else. None of them, while at university, knew exactly where they were headed, but they knew to listen for some passion to follow, and that became an endless journey. For you, it will be something else. Doesn't matter exactly what it is, but be passionate about it and use it for good. Congratulations to the class of 2017. Thank you very much.
Eminent Chancellor, it is an honor and a privilege to present Earl Cook at this convocation for the University of Saskatchewan Doctor of Laws degree, honoris causa. Mr. Cook is known as a stalwart promoter of teaching and learning, a social advocate for the rights and privileges of education, a dedicated steward in the cultivation of a more prosperous and desirable North, a committed political lobbyist for supports and programs in housing, education, training, and economic development, and a dedicated speaker, learner, preserver, and teacher of language retention, one of the greatest gifts that he has imparted and continues to impart on Northern Aboriginal people. In this summary, I will attempt to do justice to a few of his accomplishments. Mr. Cook hails from Cumberland House, Saskatchewan, and has been a long-time resident of the Saskatchewan North. A Métis man, he is fluent, written and spoken, in Swampy Cree and English. We are, especially at this convocation, so very proud to call him one of our honored alumni. Mr. Cook earned his Bachelor of Education degree in 1980 and his postgraduate diploma in 1984, both with majors in Indian and Northern Studies. Mr. Cook has had a long and distinguished career engaging in initiatives close to his home and his heart. He is considered an expert in Northern Aboriginal culture and language in education, as well as in training, development, and employment initiatives. His knowledge of the North is legendary, so much so that he is described as the embodiment of traditional ways of knowing. As such, he has been and continues to be not only a trusted leader, but also a trailblazer and a change agent, integral in the development of many initiatives programs, and institutions that have resulted in positive and long-lasting change for the people of the North. Eminent Chancellor, the following are some of his accomplishments, primarily in the areas of post-secondary education, in K-12, and in health. In the post-secondary sector, over 2 decades, some of Mr. Cook's accomplishments include teaching, of course, in both English and Cree, the establishment of Elders and Aboriginal Languages programming, and the development of Northern career and employment initiatives. In fact, it's during this time that Mr. Cook exhibited significant leadership and partnership in his work at NORTEP, NORPAC, as well as through the development of the Gabriel Dumont Institute in 1980 and the establishment of the Department of Native Studies, now the Department of Indigenous Studies, at the University of Saskatchewan in 1983. In the K-12 sector, Mr. Cook served both as an elementary teacher and a consultant, and I'm excited to say in front of this group of graduates, he was one of our intern supervisors. He also provided extensive support through various roles to teachers throughout the North, especially in education, training and equity strategies, and in Cree and Dene programming. Through his work in the health sector, Mr. Cook was instrumental in the research, development, and implementation of the Northern Health Strategy Working Group, aimed at improving health and wellness for residents of Northern Saskatchewan. And throughout all of this time, Mr. Cook dedicated himself to serving on a number of important committees, too many to name, which positively contributed to Indian and Métis education, training, Northern labor, forestry, Saskatchewan Indian languages, core curriculum, partnership engagement, friendship-centered development, the Métis Nation, and various sports committees, bettering health and wellness in the communities in which he served. In reading the many components of his nomination, it is clear that Mr. Cook's choice to return to the North following the pursuit of his education in order to assist other Métis and First Nation students is a testament of his love of education and his dedication to helping other Northerners succeed. I tell you this, Mr. Chancellor, because throughout all of the time in which Mr. Cook engaged in various positions and initiatives, he worked diligently and humbly, one project at a time, gaining the trust and respect from communities across this province. He has made significant contributions to increasing the knowledge of First Nation and Métis people locally, nationally, and internationally, and he has created lasting change. As a result, he has earned an enduring reputation as a strong and stalwart leader whose commitment never wavers. In the media this week, President Stoichev is quoted saying, "Mr. Cook's devotion to the promotion of education and training programs, Indigenous language retention and preservation, and the development of economic opportunities for Northern communities serves as an inspiration to others." I agree. On behalf of the many, many advocates and promoters of education for the good of all people, Mr. Cook, to you I say Teneke, Megwich, Pimarsi. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the Senate, I ask that you confer onto Earl Cook the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the legislature of the province, and with the consent of the Senate of this university, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, and invest you with all the powers, rights, and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
I've never worn one of these before. Graduates, family, friends and colleagues, it was certainly a pleasure to hear President Stoichev welcome people to Métis homeland, being a Métis myself, so thank you, President Stoichev. When I was growing up on the trap line, and many of you perhaps don't know what a trap line is, but I grew up on one in the traditional lifestyle, helping the family survive. And I also helped my dad in commercial fishing back in Cumberland House in the 50s and 60s. Despite growing up in the traditional lifestyle, my parents valued education. And my father learned the value of education when he was in the Army, when he had to read his comrades' letters to them and respond to those letters for them. My mother told stories about when she was a young Métis girl in southern Saskatchewan, where she trudged through the snow for miles in the wintertime to attend school. That is commitment. So when we were growing up in Cumberland House, we were not allowed to miss school, only when we were sick and couldn't attend. And I recall occasionally where my mother grabbed me by the hand as a 5-year-old and helped me through the snow to attend school. And so there was never any doubt in my mind that I would finish grade 12. But never in my wildest dreams did I ever think I would attend university. I never thought I would get a Bachelor of Education. I never dreamed I would get a post-secondary education or a postgraduate diploma. And I never thought I'd be getting a degree from Chancellor Roy Romano, or as many of us knew him years ago, simply as Roy when he was Premier. And a very good Premier, I might add. My life began in 1972. And I was working in a bush, cutting line. Very lonely life, and I was looking for a way out of the bush. Making good money, mind you. But when I was home one Christmas, folks from the Métis Nation, Saskatchewan, approached me and asked me if I wanted to be a community development worker. And I replied, I have no experience. They said, we'll train you. So that's begun my public life in 1972, in December of 1972. So that was my start. Later on, I worked for the Department of Northern Saskatchewan as a placement officer. While there, I was approached by some individuals in human resources to ask if I wanted to go to university as part of my training, as part of my job. And there was a program called Training in Government, which was established in the Department of Northern Saskatchewan under Premier Blakeney. And the government at the time had established DNS, or the Department of Northern Saskatchewan, as we call it. And Roy and I had a chat about DNS when we were in the room back there. So I went to university. While I was there, I became involved in the Métis Local. We lobbied for the establishment of a Native Studies department, and in 1983, in fact, it was established. While I was on campus, I met Dr. Michael Timchak, who is in the crowd today. And little did I know later on that would have an impact on my life. After I got my Bachelor of Education, I taught in Cumberland House, my hometown. And the following year, Mike contacted me and asked me if I wanted to apply for a position at NORTEP, which I did. And I started working for the Northern Teacher Education Program in 1981. A few years later, I came back to the university to do my postgraduate. After 7 years with NORTEP, I left, and I was asked to apply for a job with Northern Lights School Division as a consultant in head office. And so I did that for 7 years. After 7 years, I was asked to apply for a position with advanced education in La Ronge, and that I did. And I was director of post-secondary education for the province in Northern Saskatchewan. I did do a second stint with NORTEP, and that's coming to an end the end of June here with the help of the provincial government. And so all along, people have approached me. And I think it shows that sometimes you do get noticed by people. And so I would say in 1980, I interned in La Ronge, pre-camp school in La Ronge. And the co-op teacher of mine at the time, Neil Dole, and I don't know if he made it in time from Switzerland, I invited him today, said, "Earl, if you ever want anything, let me know and I'll help you out." And so I interned with him and successfully passed and became a teacher. Many years later, I was approached by some of the students, especially by a couple of the students who were disadvantaged. And they said, "You know what? Those little words of encouragement you gave me really made a difference in my life." And I thought, wow, many years later, for somebody to tell me that, I made a difference in somebody's life. I've had many teachers during my K-12 education. I've had many good teachers from Cumberland House, from La Ronge. And some of those teachers became good friends, lifelong friends. One of them used to take me to Prince Albert when the road just opened up from Cumberland House. And he'd take me down south and visit his family. I remember after high school, I visited my grade 6 teacher in Nanaimo, BC. And some other teachers I've kept in touch with throughout my career. They've been friends. Should also add that I've kept in touch with some of my professors from the university throughout the years too. So I think this is what shows is that when you're number one, when you're teaching, going forward in your careers, teaching careers, that if you, number one, include all of your students in the classroom, students from different backgrounds, different abilities, you will make a difference. There's no doubt about that. You might not know at the moment, but later on, it will come back and perhaps it'll surprise you. As you begin your teaching careers, you'll go to conferences, and some conferences you'll think you learned a whole lot, and you probably will. And as time goes on, as you continue to attend conferences, you'll find that you're learning less and less, but maybe 1, 2, or 3 good points from the conference. But what's also important, not just the learning, but it's the networking that you create with other teachers, other organizations as you go to these conferences. And there comes a time when you'll realize that, man, you know, I could be doing those workshops. And then your role changes from that of a learner to a teacher. Teaching your own, teaching your peers, teaching the graduates, the year one graduates who are just coming out in the field. So your role will change as your experience gains. You know, I went through that. There was times when I said, man, you know, I could be making good money, extra money, doing a workshop too, and might do a better job even. So I think by relating my work history, and as you recognize in your classrooms the various abilities of the students and you encourage them, you're encouraging them to grow. When I was with NORTEP, we used to encourage students that we saw some leadership qualities and encourage them to become vice principals and principals to further their education. And that encouragement, I know, makes a difference. I think one of the messages from President Toychev's presentation is that you give back to the community. And I know that Dean Praitula mentioned that I was one of the internship supervisors for the college, and that I was. But I was also a co-op teacher. And so the President's message is that you give back to your profession, you give back to your community, and you'll be rewarded. And I've been fortunate that I've had a lot of encouragement throughout the years. So if students you teach and your peers notice your leadership, they'll come back and reward you. And you might not think you've made a difference, but you will have in those students' lives, in your peers' lives, and in those you provide workshops to, and so on. You will make a difference. And when you wonder if you have made a difference or the kind of job you've done, I want to quote my mentor. He said, "Sometimes you think that all you've done has not been noticed. But at times like this, you can be assured that what may have seemed invisible and unrecognized has actually been noticed and is hugely appreciated." So with that in mind, move forward, make a difference, and have yourself a good day.
Eminent Chancellor, Mr. President, members of the University Senate and Board, I present to you the petition of the Council of this university that the candidates to be named, having fulfilled all the requirements of the bylaws, may, with your permission, be admitted to the degrees, diplomas, and certificates to which they are entitled.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the legislature of this province, and with the consent of the council of this university, I consent to admit you to the degrees, diplomas, and certificates to which you are entitled, and to vest you with all the powers, rights, and privileges pertaining thereto.
Would the graduates in the first row please rise and start making your way towards the platform? I'll give you a few instructions as you're moving. As you enter the stage over here, please stop and face the audience so that a hood can be put over your shoulders. Once you have been hooded, please proceed to the first podium where the orator will present each of you by name. Once your name has been announced, you can proceed across the stage and shake hands with the Chancellor and he will at that point be admitting you to the Convocation of the University of Saskatchewan. You can then continue across the stage to this side of the stage, where you will be greeted by the president and by the dean or associate dean of your college to receive your parchment. As you go down the steps over here, you will be welcomed as new members of the University of Saskatchewan Alumni Association by a representative of the association.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Education, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the certificate in teaching English as a second language. I present to you Alicia Catherine Abraham Regier. Brittany Meredith Charrington. Allison Joan Cowan. Kelsey Renee Evers. Frederick Norman Coop. Victoria Elizabeth Martin. Nyla Janine Meganburr. Marie E. Powell Mendenhall. Marie Sarah Lynn Sealski. Heather Dawn Weimer. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Education, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Bachelor of Education. I present to you Jordan Daniel Edelman. Chelsea Marie Eystein. Kelly Almighty Voice. Erin Ashley Anderson, with distinction. Catherine Elizabeth Archer. Kayla Rosianna Arguin, with distinction. Britta Gail Arndt. Brittany Mary Ayers. Kian Bannerman. Kelly Natasha Baptiste. Tori Janelle Bass. Kendall Ray Francis Beta, with great distinction. Alana Therese Bear. Amanda Lynn Beaubier, with distinction. Gregory Miles Bennett. Derek Mitchell Bergen, with distinction. Brittany Rose Burscheid, with distinction. Amelia Jasmine Bill. Hillary Rebecca Genevieve Black. Timothy Joshua David Bloom. Kevin James Bodie, with distinction. Cara Jean Kathleen Bolding. Aaron Barassa. Bradley Martin Boutin. If I had only known. Chelsea Kirsten Boyko. Megan Elizabeth Bracewell. Skylar Leah Brassard. Riley Elizabeth Boyd Briere. Harshina Bridgelaw, with distinction. Carmela Rose Brockman. Courtney Ray Brown. Chandra Dawn Bugler, with distinction. Junaya Amy Marie Bungard. Deborah Gale Burns. Kristen Cameron. Reagan Jeremy Cannon. Jeffrey Mark Capo. Tiffany Nicole Carlton, with distinction. Brooke Lillian Jean Chabot. Echo Lee Chase. Marla Ann Cheston, with great distinction. Joyina Chason. Carly Marie Cook. Rebecca Cook. Samantha Jacqueline Alice Cook Roberts. Courtney Dawn Marie Craswell, with distinction. Lynn Blair Crookedneck. Stephanie Nicole Cross. Christine Barbara Ann Tchaikovsky, with distinction. Anna Louise Derbyshire. Lane Alexandra David. Noelle Dickey. Jean-Francois Dion, with distinction. Morgan Lauren Duker. Evan Stewart Dunlop. Andrew David Dupuy, with distinction. Monica Eichenberg. Hannah Marie Erickson. Ashley Margaret Estabrooks, with distinction. Jason Merle Ayapes, with distinction. Stephen Frank Farkasdi, with distinction. Thank you. Jacoba Elizabeth Penner Fast. Close. Courtney Dawn Fesser. Emily Marie Fillo, with distinction. Kathleen Bronwyn Foreman, with distinction. Catherine Ainsley Fossanouve, with distinction. Logan David Fossum. Tavia Lee Friedman, with distinction. Krista Gamble. Sandra Gamble. Brittany Jessie Garchinsky, with distinction. Janice Gardapi. Leslie Jolene Anita Gardapi. Thank you. Isabel Pauline Gauthier, with distinction. And Genevieve. And Genevieve, Mr. Chancellor. Kendra Adrian Gerbig. Sarah Faye Gibson, with distinction. Michael Cameron Gramiak. Kirsten Gouda, with distinction. Shauna Anita Griller, with great distinction. Rebecca Mackenzie Carlina Goodnesson. Bailey Ann Lynn Guest, with distinction. Erin Valerie Patricia Gilmy, with distinction. Michael Simon Harris, with distinction. Madison Marina Dane Harvey. Haley Ann Helgelson. Tyler Edward Herman. Tegan Hermison, with great distinction. Alyssa Marie Hildebrandt, with great distinction. Karsten George Hohen, with great distinction. With distinction. Daniel Robert Holtzman. Robin Marie Houle. Carla Hubick, with great distinction. Riley Jolene Humbert, with distinction.
Amanda Marie Johnson. Megan Jorgensen. Tanya Kapisawat. Mari Ella Kalis. Argiro Carachalios. Nettie Joanne Keenach. Leslie Marie Kerpan. Colby Ray Cargard. Alicia Christine Clausen. Danae Leah Clausen, with great distinction. Jennifer Martha Clausen. Whitney Danae Clausen, with distinction. Nicole Kozka. Tori Linda Kopp. Monica Jean Korluck. Natasha Elizabeth Kostyaniuk. Ellen Krogan. Amy Lynn Coolrick. Kathleen Marie Kizik. Sandra Marie LaChance. Megan Sarah Lapointe, with great distinction. Katrina Janice LaRiviere. Nicole Lynn LaValle. Vincent Boyd LaValle. Darby Lynn LeMay. Carrie Ray Whitefish Little. Megan Elizabeth Lofgren, with distinction. Jeremy Dustin Long. Kirsten Ann Lucan. Matthew Morris MacDonald. Heather Violet Mackey. Kyle Clark Mackey. Shelby Olivia McKinnon. Nicole Melissa Marquis, with distinction. Brian James Wilfred Matkowski. Shaylin Leslie McCarthy. Ray McCormick. Caitlin Nicole McIntyre, with distinction. Cheryl Natalie Mackay. Kaylee Paige McKenzie. Glenda Tran Meldrum. Maria Melanchuk, with great distinction. Aletha Catherine Melnichuk. Bridget Ann Miele. Janelle April Minish. Braden Lee Archie Miscolzi. Terilyn Vera Mitchell. Diane Musamin. Miranda Faye Musamin. Kyla Carlina Carissa Morin. Katie Marie Mountain. Nadine Elizabeth Mundy. Kendall Kathleen Monkler. Jeffrey Thomas Ness. Chantel Love Nicotine. Cassidy Ev Nielsen. Kalendra Jessie Sloan Noon. James Martin Olson. Joel Parker Ooms. Erica Ray Osterried, with great distinction. Rhonda Lee Parton, with distinction. Leanne Paslowski. Laura Raylene Paul, with distinction. Sarah Nicole Pence. Taylor Rosemary File. Thomas Avery Pocock, with distinction. Jamie Kaylin Pokol. Ashley Dawn Preston. Michelle Ann Pacala, with distinction. Brody Allen Pillopow. Andrew Rapin. Kristen Dawn Redicock, with great distinction. Brianne Kristen Reed. Serena Reimer. Elena Catherine Rennie. Broxton James Riley, with distinction. Mariah Margaret Ringdahl. Brianne Marie Rosason. Krista Louise Rowe. Michael Christopher Roy. Zandra Roy. Leah Michelle Sampson. Tristan Noel Sander. Emily Joanna Saunders, with distinction. Zachary Jacob Schellenberg. Denisha Jade Schreiner. Mackenzie Lee Schultz. Michael Sanger. Ashley Dawn Shirley. Sydney Rebecca Shumlansky. Miriam Shabir Siddiqui. Salem Silger. Darcy Ray Slugoski. Tanner Edison Sobkowicz. Tekoa Century Star. Veronica Lee Carr Stewart with great distinction. Jordan Lee Storzak with distinction. Catherine Leigh Stewart with distinction. Dustin Lee Stupnikoff. Jace Rennell Sutherland. Faith Swift Wolf. Heather Doreen Tari with distinction. Leslie Aaron Lee Thomas with great distinction. Hannah M. Thompson with distinction. Jordan Harrison Thunderchild. Keisha S. Tippawan. Alexi Tosi Kavanaugh. Brianne Unger. Shanna Leigh Vaughn. Jordan Gabriel Vanderboos. Ellen Verity. Mariah Walker. Darby Sharon Wasserman. Deanna Lynn Watson. Michelle K. Whitecalf. Darlene K. Whitefish, with distinction. Alicia Claire Whitehead. Erin Michelle Willems, with great distinction. Stephanie Wong, with distinction. Kelsey Jo Woodbury. Kyle Parker Wright. Tana Zakir. Raisha Zintel, with distinction. Carissa Marie Zorb, with distinction.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Education, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the combined degree of Bachelor of Education and Bachelor of Music in Music Education. I present to you Nevin Patrick Bueller. Katia Marie Mazeras. Michael Alexander Reese. Michael Daytona Joseph Stankowski. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the Faculty of Education, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the post-degree certificate in special education. I present to you Natalie Ray Wedeen. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the Faculty of Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies, I present to you these scholars from the College of Education and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Master of Education. I present to you Megan Alexandra Nadia Adams LaBelle. Carmeletta Dawn Aldred. Tracy Lee Allensbach. Nazreen Bolio. Rebecca Joanne Bennett. Sarah Lynn Bergerman. Roxanne Amy Bittner. Christy Blazeco. Nicole Christine Berlon. Sorry. Sean Raymond Brandt. D. Ali Cameron. Kendra Colleen Campbell. Kelly Page Cardinal. Lucas Benjamin Lawrence Carrier. Lise Janine Chartier Kettleson. Dominic Sevier Chibuzu Chikuwu. Tara Lee Chernesky. Brenda Joanne De La Rosa. Danielle Renee Ethier. Shuyu Fan. Kimberly Janelle Fick. Christina Ann Fonstad. Ro Gu. I'm so sorry, I butchered it. Murray Dean Henry, sorry. Allison Lindsay Hughes. Danielle Jameson. Jonathan Alexander Emil Jameson. Brian David Knowles. Ardeen Knudsen. Kristen Gabrielle Koo. Yina Liu. Insha Lu. Arlene Catherine Lowe. Ashley Danielle Mayu. Carmen Elizabeth McCrae. Delee Frances Mary McDougall. Victoria Lee McMillan. Corrine Malizia Morrison Spence. Russell Francis Monkler. Cynthia Susan Nienaber. Penny Heather Elizabeth Nilsson. Carmen Paul Ogarev. Blair Ronald Ostertag. Maria Jose Obando Pais. Candace Mary Margaret Patrick. Tara Jane Pete. Genevieve Carrie Lee Perkins. Jacqueline Jennifer Pollard. Sienna Hillary Dawn Pushkar. Jessie Lee Reese. you. Dorsey and Ryan. Sheila Claire Semper. Heather Ashley Shuchuk. Cho Chi Shu. Sarah Elizabeth Sotvet. Tracy Lynn Spencer. Priscilla Monica St. John. Ryan Allen Stanko. Rochelle Ann Sutton. Carolyn Anita Tomlinson Elliston. Karen Kit Yin Tong. Karen Rosemary Sani. Kyle Michael Webb. Jacob Michael Arden Whip. Kendra Jean Warden. Tammy Ray Whitney. Adam Thomas Young. Lisa Rose Zacharias. Dan Zhao. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the Faculty of Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I present to you Cynthia Lynn Clark. Robert Scott Leggett. Gail Ann McKay. Susan Marie Rushny. Please join me in congratulating these graduates on their certificates and degrees.
Eminent Chancellor, in the name of the faculties, I ask you to grant the degrees, diplomas, and certificates in absentia to those students who have met the requirements to graduate but were not able to be present today.
At the request of the faculties, I authorize these degrees, diplomas, and certificates to be granted.
Eminent Chancellor, President Stoichev, colleagues, graduates, friends. It gives me pleasure this afternoon to present to you Miss Marie Powell, the 2017 recipient of the Award for Most Distinguished Graduate in the Certificate in Teaching English as a Second Language, or CERTESL, program in the College of Education. The Certificate in Teaching English as a Second Language program is a nationally accredited and internationally recognized program designed to meet the instructional needs of current and prospective instructors of English as a second language, both in Canada and abroad. Today, we honor Marie Powell as the most distinguished graduate in this program, and to my mind, there is no reason to doubt her rise to the top of this year's class. Her past accomplishments demonstrate a strong history of perseverance, skill development, and community. Ms. Powell is the author of no fewer than 40 published children's books, including a young adult novel entitled Hawk. She has taught university courses in theater and journalism and has an impressive and established record of contributions in support of emerging writers in Saskatchewan as a respected presenter on topics including manuscript development, multi-genre creativity, and publication marketplace assessment. Her documentary research work has been instrumental in the realization of successful broadcast series aired on both the Biography and History television networks. Completion of the CERTESL is more than a line in the litany of academic accomplishments highlighted on her CV, including bachelor's degrees in journalism and fine arts, and master's degrees in the fine arts of creative writing and theater. She teaches language instruction for newcomers to Canada, or LINK classes, for Saskatchewan Polytechnic, and previously taught the same for Carleton Trail College. In May, she began teaching English as a second language academic writing at the University of Regina. Eminent Chancellor, please help me to congratulate Marie Powell, Certificate in Teaching English as a Second Language Distinguished Graduate, on this notable achievement.
Eminent Chancellor, President Stoichev, Dr. Cook, colleagues, friends, and of course, the graduating class of 2017. Tanchikia, Tanse, it is a beautiful day to be here with you today on the Métis homeland on traditional Treaty 6, sorry. My name is Dawn Wallene, and I have the absolute pleasure today to introduce to you the undergraduate student who has achieved top standing in the 2016-2017 graduating class. The Saskatchewan Teachers Federation Prize of this year is going to the most outstanding graduate for the spring convocation, Danae Clausen. The Saskatchewan Teachers Federation Prize is going to Danae today, who had a graduation with great distinction average of 90%. Danae Clausen was born and raised in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, and she graduated from Evan Hardy Collegiate. During her studies, Danae received numerous awards, including the Phi Delta Kappa Scholarship, the Nasser Scholarship, the Hannon Scholarship, the Theodora Book Prize, the Earl Robert Hale Scholarship, the University of Saskatchewan Alumni Association Scholarship, the University of Saskatchewan Scholarship, and she's been on the Dean's Honor Roll each year in the program. Rather impressive. A highlight from Danae's studies in the College of Education was from one of Professor Payne's home economic classes. The assignment was a group project, a song and puppet show for the campus daycare. Danae has fond memories of their group crammed into a piano practice room rehearsing their song. And on the day of the show, she recalls hauling a large, heavy keyboard to school, through the arts building where it sat through a nutrition class. Then it was dragged over to our place in the education building for the show in the afternoon. She remembers it being so much fun that she forgot she was in school, so she says, which is what she hopes every student experiences in their own educational career. Danae has been an active volunteer throughout her studies. Involved in the Heart of City piano program, she taught piano to students at the St. John's Elementary School in Holiday Park. She also led Girl Guides for 1.5 years at the King George Community School. And for a number of years, Danae and her husband Grant have invited families from the Riversdale King George area into their home to carve pumpkins or bake and decorate cookies. In 2012, they collaborated with the Emmanuel Baptist Church-sponsored Bike Day in the Park, where they helped serve lunch, play games, and fix broken bicycles. Danae completed her internship at Bedford Road Collegiate, where she was a volunteer coach cross-country running, helped supervise the house crew of students involved in the school musical, and assisted with school cultural celebrations. Some of her other interests include spending time outside with family or neighborhood friends, sharing picnics and bonfires along the riverbank. Currently, Danae is considering her fall employment options as she soaks up the sun while working on a local organic farm this summer. Please help me in congratulating Danae Clausen. And no, we can't let her leave because it's actually very much our pleasure. Our program, as all of you know, is very much about the classroom experience on campus, but is also fundamentally about the classroom experience of those of you that go into field placements. Last year, we were very proud to create the award of the I got two papers here, of the College of Education Professional Award for Excellence in Teaching. This afternoon, I have the honor of awarding this award to Danae Clausen. The award is created to recognize a teacher candidate who's demonstrated educational excellence, innovation, uniqueness, creativity, and personal commitment to both the classroom and school while a member of the college community. She was chosen from the pool of Bates Awards recipients. Again, Danae was born in Saskatoon and graduated from Edwin Hardy. She was enrolled in the College of Education's secondary home economics education program with math as her second teaching area. Danae's internship was completed at Bedford Road Collegiate, where she taught home economics, Foods 30 and Clothing 30. SAGE Foundations of Mathematics, Pre-Calculus 10, and Reentry. She was able to teach a wide range of courses in reentry, including Foundations 20, History, English, and Math 21. Many diverse students attend Bedford Road from this community, including many First Nations and Métis students, as well as others who also participate in the International Baccalaureate program. Her Bedford Road collegiate partner teachers, school principal, and facilitator speak highly of her ability to fit and gain the trust of her diverse group of students. She impacted the students when she took the time to get to know their interests and skills. For example, one innovative project involved the invitation of a traditional knowledge keeper to come to the Clothing 30 class to share their ways of tanning rabbit pelts. The grade 9 soft landings class also joined in. At first, the students were a little bit reluctant to get involved, but by the last day, they were not only touching, peeling, and stretching the pelts, but also sitting and interacting with others that they normally may not have. One student in a reentry program was on track to graduate, but was struggling with some math course concepts. Danae found out that this student enjoyed photography and was planning to start a photography business after high school. She designed a business research and budgeting module consistent with the Math 21 curriculum, which engaged the student to be successful. Danae acknowledges that at the beginning of her internship, she thought she was going to struggle with building relationships because she didn't know how she, this is her words, not mine, a somewhat nerdy person, will be able to engage students. She quickly learned that authenticity, risk-taking, and being teachable are far more important than being perfect. She tried different ideas and was open to suggestions. In conversations with her partner teachers, she realized that she did not want perfection. Rather, she wanted students to learn, to feel safe, and to know that their individuality is appreciated when they're in her classroom. Danae acknowledges that she received tremendous support throughout her internship and that her success is due to her cooperating teachers and facilitators, who's superhuman educators who provided so much encouragement and genuine feedback to her progress. She's grateful to her cooperating teacher for showing a healthy balance between school life and home life. She's thankful to the practical and applied arts program instructors for their endless advice, wisdom, and encouragement. And she could not have done this without the support of her family, for their support, encouragement, long walks to vent while getting some exercise. And she thanks her husband, Grant, for putting up with her late-night homework sessions and for helping her with crazy project ideas like building a wooden dodecahedron. Please join me in congratulating Danae Claassen.
Eminent Chancellor, President Stoichev, platform participants, fabulous faculty, graduates, and guests. My name is Grit McCreath, and I'm a proud alumni of your college, earning my education degree in 1991. As a member of the University of Saskatchewan Alumni Association, it is my distinct pleasure to congratulate you, the class of 2017, and welcome each of you as our association's newest members, joining our network of over 150,000 alumni in over 120 countries. Wow, what a great looking class you are. This is what it's all about. Your years of hard work and dedication have paid off. I encourage you to take a moment to think about what you've achieved, what you've learned, how you have grown and evolved from your first day as a student at the University of Saskatchewan. Although it might feel like receiving your hard-earned degree or certificate marks the end of your time as a member of the U of S community, it is really a new beginning, When you crossed the stage today and shook hands with the prominent people behind me, know that it's not the end of your relationship with us. You are students on the campus for a relatively short time, but you are alumni for a lifetime. You are now official members of our association. Know that you are in good company. As you heard earlier, you follow in the footsteps of many accomplished U of S alumni. President Stoichev cited many of them earlier, but you will not only follow in the footsteps of these distinguished women and men, you will create a new, unique path. You will write your own story. Remember the faces and names of those around you today, those you have heard and have seen in the program. Yours are the names of accomplished alumni that will be read during future U of S convocation ceremonies for future generations. As we know, the only constant is change. Because of a rapid, ever-changing world, you will take on challenges that may not even exist and can't be imagined. But your knowledge, your experiences, and your relationships will help you in your journey and assist you to help build vibrant lives and, in turn, vibrant communities. It is my hope for you that you find joy in whatever path you choose and that you never curb the thirst for knowledge you acquired here. Always be curious, always be searching, and always strive to know more and do more. Because of your time at the U of S, you have all the skills, knowledge, and abilities to think critically, solve problems, create solutions, and be leaders. From this day forward, all that you accomplish, all that you create, discover, enhance, build, explore, you will do as an alumnus or alumna of the University of Saskatchewan, an irrevocable bond between you and your alma mater. I encourage you to stay in touch with us as you make your mark in the world and realize your potential. You are an inspiration to each other and forever a member of the U of S family. Congratulations to each and every one of our graduates. Welcome to the University of Saskatchewan Alumni Association. Yay, you.
I love that. Yay, you. Mr. President and platform guests and friends, this brings today's convocation ceremony to a close. But before we officially do so, I'd like to thank a few people. First, Joseph Resenditz and the University Wind Orchestra. First class. Absolutely. Our vocalist, Angela Urishinin, who did a wonderful job for us too. Our drum group, the Buffalo Boys Productions, and our traditional knowledge keeper, Bob Batcher. And Ann Websdale, our interpreter. Now, I should also make one other mention, the many persons and teams from the Convocation office and the University Secretary's office in making these ceremonies, which may seem complicated because they are complicated, somewhat easier for all of everybody involved. They've done a terrific job in every convocation, so congratulations to them. And finally, a big congratulations to our graduates. On behalf of everyone, I offer you our congratulations. You have studied hard to earn a degree, and we wish you continued success throughout your lives, both personally and professionally. Earning your degree will show you value for a lifetime to come. And the education you received from this university, the University of Saskatchewan, has prepared you for success, prepared you to meet challenges head on. Follow as many opportunities as you can, because that's where you'll find your true passion. And in the end, that's what we want for each and every graduate of the University of Saskatchewan. Friends, please remain seated until the platform party has left the stage, and thank you all for being here.